dipersembahkan oleh
Kehadiran XLSMART disambut positif oleh pemerintah dan stakeholder dengan harapan XLSMART membawa dampak yang lebih serta layanan digital yang lebih baik kepada masyarakat. Lantas seperti apa strategi XLSMART menjawab tantangan tersebut? Halo pemirsa, selamat datang di Investor Daily Talk, program yang menghadirkan perbincangan dengan narasumber-narasumber ternama dan berkompeten. Bersama saya Iqbal Suitamiharja, inilah Investor Daily Talk selengkapnya. Investor Daily, inspirasi investasi, bersatu menginspirasi. The presence of XLSMART has been positively received by the government and the stakeholders, with new hope that the company will provide a greater and bigger impact with providing a better service in digital and also innovations to the public. And the question is, what are XLSMART's strategies in responding to these challenges of digital transformation, especially in Indonesia? We have Mr. Rajeev Sethi, the President, Director, and CEO of XLSMART. Apa kabar, Pak Rajeev? How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and let's discuss about the XLSMART. So the first question will be a bit about flashback, Mr. Rajeev. Could you elaborate the journey of the merger process that led to the formation of XLSMART as it stands today?
Sure, and thank you for the question.
Yeah.
If I take a step back and think about what happened, 2 years back, we were Axiata separately, and Smartfren as a separate company.
Yeah.
Number 3 and number 4 in the market, one with around 15-16% market share, the other with around 9% market share. We were the smallest players. And telecom is a game of scale. If you have scale, you have more efficiency. And if you have more efficiency, you're more profitable. If you're more profitable, you are able to invest. So it's a virtuous cycle in case you have scale, which we did not have individually. Merging together both the companies, therefore, was a logical conclusion that we need to merge together to be able to compete in this market.
Yeah.
So that was the genesis of this idea. And what I know, September 23 is when both the shareholders started speaking. So it's been close to a year and a half affair. And they started speaking. May of 24, we went formally to the regulator to tell them about our intent to merge, to get their blessings. December of last year is when we formally announced that we have decided to merge, subject to the approval by the regulator and the other people. And this year, in April 17th, we were formally married. And we've been operating as one company now for 2.5 months. So that's been the journey so far. Yeah, last 2.5 months since we've been working, it's been one team, devoted towards one purpose. The good part is now we have one set of management, which we call Board of Directors. There's been equal representation from Axiata side and Smartfren side. So we have a combination of a very good team, a combination of local experts who have deep understanding of the market here, both telecom and also otherwise, deep understanding of the culture here. And there are some people like me who come from outside, diverse experience. So I think we have a very interesting team, a very capable team who will be able to carry forward and deliver on the promise of this merger.
Okay, speaking of the culture that you earlier mentioned, that combining these two corporate cultures in one roof, how is the challenge and how is it doing right now?
Yeah, I think before I started, this was the biggest question in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I come from Axiata. I've been in Axiata now for 3 years. Axiata has a certain way of doing things. It's a more corporate culture where governance, those things are very strong. And then there is a Cinemas group with whom we are merging. It's a very entrepreneurial culture. I mean, it's something where the speed, agility, decision making is done in a different way. So the question in my head were these two cultures ready to mingle?
Yeah.
And I've been positively surprised. Both at the shareholder level, there's a absolute solid respect of both the shareholders for each other, what they bring to the table. There's a very good chemistry between the shareholders. I think that's a very good beginning. And more importantly, the teams have bonded together very well. And we've taken a large number of steps to ensure that the teams bond well. We are picking from the best of both the cultures, both of the Axiata culture and the Cinemas culture, and trying to build a culture which is fit for XLSMART. So what we believe is XLSMART culture is not something which is imported from outside. It is built by the people here. In fact, for the first few weeks, I spent most of my time with people thinking about culture. And it was not me alone. We were a group of around 400 people who contributed to defining what XLSMART stands for, right from the purpose. And if I may talk about the purpose, which I talk about with very large amount of pride, is we are here to ensure that we connect every Indonesian to a better life.
That's very interesting because beside these corporate culture challenges, what are the challenges that you faced, the company faced during the merger process, actually?
If I may categorize, there are two kinds of challenges which we face. One is the soft challenge, which is more about people, their motivation, their fears. And then is the hard part of the integration challenges, which is on the IT, technology. I'm saying hard not in terms of difficult, but it's more technology, it's more on that sense. But the soft part, people, was one which we were more worried about, which I spoke about. Because when you merge two different companies, people are worried about how will the new company operate? Will the culture be very different from what I'm used to? Will the ways of working be very different from what I'm used to? Will the shareholders treat people very, very differently? Will there be a us versus them kind of a conflict? So that was the soft part. What will happen to me? Will I have a job or not? Because there will be two sets of people possibly.
Shifting roles or not, something
all
like
of that. So that was so very important for us to recognize that we are dealing with people. It's not just merger of two shareholders. It's a merger of two companies, and people will be fearful. There will be those emotions coming up. And it was our job as management to ensure that we recognize them and address them. And I think that's where we spent large amount of time, where we started involving people in defining culture, which I spoke about. All the people participated in that. So thankfully, if I may say, and say that with a hint of pride, that we are a very well-oiled company now. There is no Excel, there is no Smart, there is only XLSMART. People are devoted to a common purpose. So that's one part. The second part, which I spoke about, is more technology, more integration. We are in the middle of implementing that. And in my mind, that's relatively easier because we have partners who've done that in the past. We have partners like Huawei and Sethi, and also on the IT side. They've done this in the past. We rely on their experience. We learned from other places. We went to Bangkok to learn from the merger there. We went to Malaysia to learn from a merger there. So I think we are in control there. So it's a good start. As I say, good start is half done, but still rest of the journey is left.
Good start, of course, with one goals, which is the revenue and the benefit. Mr. Rajeev, of course, I would like to ask regarding the business plans and focuses of XLSMART going forward. But after this one, pemirsa, kami akan segera kembali usai jeda. Tetaplah bersama kami di Investor Daily Talk.
Dipersembahkan oleh
Pemirsa, terima kasih Anda masih bersama kami di Investor Daily Talk bersama XLSMART dan tentu bersama Rajeev Sethi, Presiden Direktur dan CEO XLSMART. Kita lanjutkan kembali dialog yang sangat menarik ini. Mr. Rajeev, previously I mentioned regarding the business plans on the main focus of XLSMART going forward now after the merger process being done. Considering that XLSMART covers multiple business lines such as mobile internet, fixed broadband, IoT, and other digital services, how's the business plan?
Business plans are very ambitious because we believe this merger gives us more strength as compared to what we were individually. Because as I mentioned earlier, telecom is a business of scale. If you're bigger, you're much more efficient. So we are much more efficient now, and that will give us the strength to compete in the market. And I would also like to say this is not just a merger. It's just not a merger of getting people together or the network together. We believe this is more of a transformation. It's a transformation for something which is bigger, better, and bolder. We are bigger, obviously, because of the size. Bolder, it will give us the capability to take bolder steps, for example, in 5G. 5G, you know, in Indonesia is not very well developed, and which is such a sad situation. Why should Indonesia be behind its peer neighboring countries on 5G? I think we should be in a position to take much bolder steps, given the current strength we have, to become the leaders in 5G in this market and accelerate adoption of 5G in this market. We should be the first ones to take advantage of new technologies like AI. People speak about AI, but it's more from a branding purpose. We believe AI can be used to solve real problems. Both of our customers, end consumers, enterprises, also use AI to make ourselves more efficient. For example, we can use AI to make our network autonomous without any human touch, so that we are able to offer better services.
Yeah.
So I think those are areas we are really, really focused upon. Apart from that, as you mentioned, we are lucky enough to be a strong player in fixed home broadband. I think that's a business which is ready to scale. I think we have a right to play there, given the strength we have, given the large customer base we have in the mobile business. We can leverage that to become even stronger player on the home business side. Enterprise, which traditionally has not been our strength, is an area which is bound to grow in future. If I have to give you one number, around 10% of the total telco revenue in Indonesia is enterprise.
Okay.
In other markets, it's 3 times that. So I believe in the next 3 to 4 years, the enterprise business will more than double for the entire industry. And we would take all the right steps to participate in that growth. So I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Multiple areas, multiple opportunities. And I think you will see XLSMART playing a leading role there.
Very, very looking forward. Regarding the network integration process between XL and SmartMan, how it's being carried out, what will the mechanism look like?
If I say this can be broken down into 3 parts.
Okay.
One is immediate, one is short to mid-term, and one is long-term. Immediate is what we have done so far, given it's only 2 months. We've done something which we call national roaming, where all smart customers have access to XL network. So around 10,000 of our sites are already enabled on national roaming. That was the quick, easier step, if I may say. And that has started to yield initial results. We are seeing significant adoption of smart customers in areas where they were not present earlier. So that's the first part, which is called immediate and now. Short to medium term, you will see the towers coming together. When I say we, I should not be using that term. XL Axiata had. And both of them had different network spectrum. Smart had 850 and 2300. XL had 900, 1800, 2100, different spectrum. So the next step would be ensuring that the towers converge and ensuring that each tower is carrying all the spectrum, so that we have much more capacity.
Yeah.
And as you would know, in age of data, people consume so much of data that the more capacity you have, the better placed you are. So specifically with this mid-band spectrum, we'll be in a very strong position competitively to satisfy that need. So this is going to happen, as I said, in the short to mid-term. Next, say 12 to 18 months, we would get this over and done with. And more long-term would be using technology to improve our network. I spoke about AI. Yeah, with such a large network footprint, billions of interactions generated every hour. How do we use all that information which is coming to improve our network?
Yeah.
And it becomes, in a way, a self-healing network. In case there's an error somewhere, the system recognizes, auto-corrects. And also, given where we are and given what's happening in the world, how do we make our network even more sustainable, more green?
Yeah.
Because we know our networks, our towers consume a huge amount of energy. So how do we use whatever tools are available to make our energy consumption more efficient? So I think all these areas will happen. The start again has been good and are good. The merger of towers has started off well. So I'm very excited and hopeful.
Okay. So speaking about from the market side, prior to the merger, EXCL's in IDX shares were experiencing a bearish trend with declining profit growth. With XLSMART's transformation, what are the strategic steps that you prepare and the company will take to improve performance to expand market reach, especially amid challenges like stagnant ARPU, average revenue per user, and tight competition in internet services, Mr. Rajeev?
Yep, you are right. The industry in Indonesia has gone through a challenge. It's gone through its own ups and downs. The recent past has been more down than up. So that's the reality where we are as of now. Is about scale.
Yeah.
And scale, because telecom scale is important to become efficient. If the scale is bigger, the economies of scale start kicking in. I think that's one of the biggest rationale for this merger. this is behind us now. So the merger will help us become more efficient and will help us free up resources to devote in areas like new technology. I spoke about 5G, getting into new areas, geographies where we were not present to generate growth there. Because currently our network is limited. We are not competing with the market leader in terms of network coverage. We'll be able to bridge that gap significantly as we move forward. So this is about the, if I may say, the easier part of the merger.
Yeah.
Then as we move forward, it's not only limited to this benefit which will come because of this merger. How do we start becoming leaders in a few areas? Leadership is not just only about a market share leadership. Leadership is also about innovation. How do we become the most innovative company to solve real problems of all Indonesians? Whether it's an end consumer, whether it's an SME, or whether it's a large bank or a large company. So that is the other part which we'll be focusing on. And obviously, doing all of this will be through significant investment in human capital. We want to become the best employer in the country, not only in telecom, but the most loved employer across all companies in Indonesia. So those are our goals.
Those are the goals, and the investors don't need to worry regarding of these all plans and all target. XLSMART, Mr. Rajeev, now has a total 94 million users. What is large customer base? What are the company's business targets moving forward in terms of market capitalization, top line, and also the bottom line?
Yep. If you look at the current market capitalization amongst the three operators, it is very different from a market share. Our revenue market share, as I said, the biggest person is around 50%. And then the number two and us are around 25% each. This is our revenue market share. But if you look at the market capitalization share, the top is around 70% plus, 72, 73%. Number two is around 18% and we are at 10%. So with 25% revenue share, we are just 10% of the market capitalization. If you look at the share of profitability, it's even lower. The biggest person gets most of the profit share, and disproportionately high. It's close to 80% of the profit goes to the biggest guy. And the rest two of us are left competing for the balance 20%. That has to change. So we would not only become focused on revenue growth and therefore the revenue share, that will be important. Equally, if I may say more importantly, will be share of profit. So therefore there will be a focus both on the top line, how do we grow that, and how do we do that in a manner where the cost doesn't increase at the same rate as the growth in the top line, so that our profitability keeps on improving. So that's what we'll be focusing on. Top line, we have better network as we move forward. As I said, we'll have much larger capacity. We'll have larger footprint as we move forward. So if the network is better, customers consume more. If customers consume more in the age of data, the ARPUs will increase. So we will try and drive ARPU through that route. And then the other areas I spoke about is home business. The home penetration in Indonesia is still very small. Some estimates say 20%, some estimates say 30%. Let's assume 25%. Still 75% of our homes are not connected. Neighboring markets, it's more than 50%. So that's one area where we can do significantly better. And as I said earlier, also on enterprise. So on top line, there are significant opportunities available for us. It's not the absence of opportunities. I think it will be more in terms of how do we prioritize ourselves so that we do not lose focus and keep delivering a solid top line growth. So how do we eliminate waste? How do we take advantage of this synergy? How do we get the best out of the cost book of both the companies and ensure that we have good deals with the vendors, offering them a larger pie because the two companies are there, much larger footprint. So we would be in a position to significantly improve our EBITDA margins and the profit margins also.
Very interesting, and clearly the vision of XLSMART now certainly more ambitious and forward-looking. How is the key strategy after the break, Mr. Rajeev? Pemirsa, kami akan segera kembali usai jeda. Tetap bersama kami di Investor Daily Talk.
Dipersembahkan oleh.
Terima kasih Anda masih bersama kami di Investor Daily Talk, masih bersama Mr. Rajeev Sethi, Presiden Direktur dan CEO dari XLSMART. Let's continue regarding the ambitious and forward-looking vision of XLSMART right now. Of course, it combines two major telecommunication entities once again. However, this also means more diverse challenges. What are the key challenges currently facing the telecommunication and digital industry that you see, you observe in Indonesia particularly, and what do you foresee in the near future?
The way I would look at challenges are of two kinds. One is more external, things which we cannot directly control. Things like the geography. Indonesia is a very unique geography.
Yeah,
Thousands of islands
agreed.
spread across of 5,000 east to west. When I came from India, I thought India is big. India north to south is around 2,000 some kilometers. And Indonesia is large, 5,000 kilometers. So geography poses its own challenges for telecom, both on the network plan, because you have to design a network where the population is spread across thousands of different islands. How do you carry data? How do you carry network across these islands? So I think that's one of the most important challenges. Not only network, even on distribution, because this market is still heavily prepaid. People still go to a retailer to buy.
Yeah.
If people go to a retailer to buy, as a telecom operator, I need to service those retailers. So our boys and girls need to travel large distances to service those. So there are practical distribution challenges also. So one is this kind of a challenge which is more external. All of us know who consume digital products that how powerful this is.
Yeah.
It's not only about entertainment, it's about education, it's about access to healthcare. It provides so many avenues. I keep on saying it doesn't really matter whether you're in Jakarta or whether you're in Japan, whether you're in India, whether you're in Indonesia, whether you're in Indianapolis. The access matters. If you have access, then the world opens for you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in Indonesia, still there's a digital divide. Digital divide between urban and rural, digital divide even in gender for multiple reasons. I think those are key challenges which the industry faces, and as a responsible player, we should be handling that. Other one is what I call it more internal to the industry. I think a newcomer to this industry from an Indonesia context, I believe there has been too much of focus on what the other competitor is doing.
Okay.
And it's led to some irrational behavior, irrational pricing behavior,
Okay.
which has put the industry in a situation where the industry is not that healthy. A consequence of that is because of that unhealthy industry, even the consumers suffer. I spoke about 5G. Why should 5G not be here? It's such a large country, growing country. Why should 5G not be here? That's because industry is not ready to invest. And why is industry not ready to invest? Because industry is not healthy. And why is industry not healthy? Because of this irrational competition. That has to change.
Okay.
I think all of us need to shift our focus on how do we serve our customers better, rather than eating each other's share. There's enough pie. The focus should be on increasing the size of the pie rather than my share of that pie. I think that's, as a responsible player, we will try and do.
So XLSMART is here to change that and give the change.
Absolutely. I think we will, yes, we are the newest kid on the block. You may call us the smallest kid on the block.
Yeah.
But we believe that we'll play a role. We'll be a responsible citizen in this telecom ecosystem and do a role to shape it up.
Interesting. Regarding the regulations and policies aspect in challenges, how do you see that the regulations that you face in transforming these two entities into one entity, XLSMART, how do you see the regulations so far in here?
No, thankfully, the regulator has been very supportive and they're very forward-looking, and that's the positive side. Whenever I've met them, they talk about the future. They talk about not as a regulator. I don't think they think of themselves as that. They think of themselves as enablers, as custodians of this industry. So and that's such a happy situation to be in. There are people whom you can engage with, you can debate with, and arrive at a consensus where the country benefits, the industry benefits. to an exciting future where your basic services improve and we keep on adding innovation to that to be able to serve your needs better. These challenges also bring out the best in telecom experts. And if we are able to handle those challenges, whether I spoke about the geography or the digital divide, we would be in a position to generate significantly better profitability in future. We have very solid network plans. We are already rolling them out. We have very solid distribution plans. And when we are able to put them in place, the investors should also be rest assured that they are looking forward to pretty significant returns in the future. We are here for the long term.
Excellent. You are here for the long term and try to convince and deliver the goals and the target. Thank you so much, Mr. Rajeev, for your time and for this conversation. Very interesting.
Thank you so much.
Dan pemirsa, itu tadi